Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, we're going to be talking about how to give effective feedback. Now, feedback is something that, as a person working in any organization, you will have to give to your managers, your subordinates, as well as your colleagues. So, whether it's in a tech role or management role, you still have many opportunities to give people feedback in a manner that helps them grow and helps you also get better outcomes from interactions with them. For example, let's say you're a help desk person and you have a customer who comes and treats you badly. How do you deal with that? In a lot of cases, there is the tendency to either lash out against them and then it becomes a full-on war, so to speak. Or there's the other thing where you just go, look, I'm just going to take it. I'm not going to deal with it. I don't have the energy or the mental power to deal with the situation. And then, we absorb it, which is also not healthy. But to be able to then actually have a better working relationship with the people that we're working with. And because if you're in that sort of a role, you're going to see that person again and again. And it's also something that is a skill that will help you into growing into leadership roles as well, which is being able to give that person feedback later. Let them cool down, catch them out of the environment that the incident occurred, have a discussion with them and say, look, you've come in, yes, I understand you're stressed and you're angry that the system wasn't working, but please do understand I'm doing everything I can to help you. So I would appreciate it if you don't behave in that manner the next time. That's one form of feedback you can give. Now, when you're working with colleagues, and especially if you're giving feedback up, i.e. to a manager, the best way I've found to do that is using a positive and then the feedback in a form that is more able to be acted on. So what that means is I would say, hey, fantastic how you handled this situation in the team meeting that we had, but there was a little bit of a concern I had with how you talked to this person in front of the team. It would be great, like if you had critical feedback for someone, if you could, talk to them separately. It just was uncomfortable for all of us to watch that critical feedback happen in front of us. So the thing of using the positive and then giving them an actionable insight into how whatever the action they did affected everyone else, and giving them an alternative saying, hey, if you did it this way, it wouldn't, it would be better. So using that opportunity as feedback to give them positive feedback as well as something that's an actionable feedback on what you perceived as a negative situation means that they can then take that on board and find ways to work with that. The worst kind of feedback I've ever gotten was when someone says you're a blah blah blah, and without any context, without anything of anything that's actionable that I can then utilize to grow. I'm always looking for feedback, and I actually ask my team that I lead for feedback so that I can constantly improve. I know I'm not perfect. I know I'm constantly having to learn, and I have to sometimes work on my weaknesses to ensure that they don't affect the way I interact with people. And sometimes I need to even reduce the impact of my strengths because they might come in the way of some interactions I might have with people. And getting feedback from others means it gives me an opportunity to gauge how I'm presenting myself in the world, in front of them, in there as a leader or as a colleague, to then utilize that to grow. And similarly, I've found the most positive outcomes come out of giving people feedback in a manner that they can take action on. Because there's no point saying your communication is bad and then walking. Because the thing is, saying your communication is bad is such a broad thing. What aspect of the communication is bad? So you can say something specific, saying, hey, based on what I saw on Monday, for example, the way you approached giving us tasks for the day wasn't right. You just were too vague and unspecific, which meant we didn't know what exactly was expected of us, which then meant we didn't get the job done correctly. And at the end of the day, you felt that, we hadn't done our jobs. If you had been able to give us a bit more specificity, saying, this is what I expect from you, this is what needs to happen, then it would have helped us get the job done to the specification that you were looking for, and ensure that we all got the outcome that we're looking for. At the end of the day, we all want to get the same outcomes together as a team to get the outcomes that we need to get for the organization. So yeah, if you could please make sure next time, give us a little bit more specifics so that we can do the job better, and it'll reduce the stress on you as well. So yeah, like you've done it in a way that you've mentioned to them that you did not like this because of the reasons and what alternative will help you, which means it gives them something actionable to work on and then work with you on the next opportunity to figure out if they have improved. And they can, again, if you have built strong enough trust, they can then come to you and say, hey, thanks for the feedback that you gave me a week ago or 2 weeks ago. In the time between when you gave me feedback to today, do you think my approach has improved? And then you can go, yep, you've gone from there to there. It's been fantastic. It's been so much more easier for us to do work. Or you can say, look, you've improved a lot, but if you can also change this. So again, effective feedback is all about understanding the other person, knowing the context under which they've done something, but also giving them, look, everyone does something positive. So give them positive feedback and then give them an actionable feedback which is critical so that they can work on that aspect of their communication or aspect of their leadership, whatever it might be. And then it gives them the opportunity to grow. If you just give them vague feedback, it doesn't give them any specifics that they can then utilize to grow quantitatively and qualitatively. Hopefully a holistic example that I was able to give helps you figure out some principles behind it and how you could potentially utilize it in your scenarios. Feedback giving, it takes a lot of trust, which means you need to build relationships. And if you're in a leadership position, you have to work a whole lot harder to build relationships with the people that you lead. And even if you're not in a leadership position, you need to build good relationships with your colleagues so that when you do have the opportunity to give feedback or to receive feedback, it's easier for both parties involved, and then it helps in your growth and their growth, and overall for everyone to grow and actually get the outcomes that we're there in the organization to get. So I wish you all the best in your journey as a tech professional, manager, and leader. If you like this episode, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button so that you're notified of future episodes as they are released. I look forward to talking to you in a future episode.